These foam darts have been creating chaos for years, but behind every Nerf blaster is some seriously awesome science. So let's tear one down. Now, there are tons of different kinds of Nerf blasters, but this one here is actually designed by Lonnie Johnson, NASA engineer. So when he wasn't launching stuff into space, he was launching foam bullets at his mates. So there's bound to be tons of cool engineering in this thing. So let's pull it apart and see how it works. I think this is the last one. Hey, awesome. Cool. All right, let's see what's going on with this thing. So there are 3 parts all working together to make this work. We've got air, a plunger, and a spring. When we pull this part back here, called the primer, it brings that along with it, kind of like this. It then hooks onto this part here, which is called the trigger catch. Now, the spring inside the tube is now stretched, so it's storing potential energy. When we pull the trigger, it moves this catch down, which releases this part, pushing air through the tube and launching the Nerf dart. The barrel rotation is super cool. So we've got a couple of cams here, and when we pull this back, it essentially locks into these grooves, which then turns the barrel. Now, there's a huge and really active community of people who modify Nerf blasters, and I figure using our knowledge on the engineering of it, we can try and beef it up a bit. So I figure we can do that in 2 ways: the distance it can fire, as well as the speed in which it can fire. Let's go. The distance a Nerf dart travels depends on a lot of things, like how airtight it is. If it's got holes, it's not gonna work. And the dart shape and size, like, does a smaller dart go further? The longer the barrel, the further the spring inside can stretch. And because there's more air in there, it means that it can propel the dart even further. Oh! When modifying Nerf blasters, what people do most is replace the spring in here with a springier spring. But I don't have a springier spring. But what I do have is a giant air cannon. So we've modified the top here. We're gonna pop a Nerf dart in there. This compresses air. It's gonna send it through this tube. And when I press this button, we'll see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so my attachment here to insert the Nerf darts was a pool noodle, and I've just gaffed it around the edge, and you can see that the force of this air compressor has completely ripped the pool noodle apart. Pretty cool. Now, the last thing I want to test is firing rate. So let's see how quickly I can shoot these 6 darts.
And what an occasion it is today. The crowd waits in anticipation at this ceremonial event, the fastest propulsion of a plastic dart shooter. And we're off. The clock is ticking. This is what we have all been waiting for, folks. And we have 3.9 seconds on the clock. Oh, that is disappointing. 3.9 seconds. No world record today, folks.
Now, the beauty of Nerf blasters is that they don't need batteries, right? But they rely on mechanical ways of priming, so you have to pull this back every time you want to shoot it, wasting time. But I want a faster way of firing, and for this, I've got a flywheel. So a flywheel is just 2 motors that spin like that. You put an object in the middle, the friction just grabs that object and propels it forward. It's exactly the same way that ball launchers work in sports. Now, some Nerf blasters actually have a flywheel mechanism built in. This is one that I built, and I'm super excited to test it out. I've actually had to gaff this down because it thinks it's a drone. I'm a little nervous. That went pretty quick. Let's see how it goes firing 6 Nerf darts. I'm just gonna feed it through this tube because I didn't have any time to make a proper magazine. 3, 2, 1. All right, testing our firing rate, it took me just under 4 seconds to shoot 6 darts. It took our Flywheel 0.4 of a second to shoot all 6 darts. But I want to go bigger. Nerf darts are made of foam, right? So I made a giant Nerf dart out of a pool noodle. I call it my work of dart. Let's try and launch this thing. Look, it kind of worked, and look, it didn't go as far as I'd hoped, but I guess my DIY pool noodle Nerf dart is no match for the original and the best. Thank you guys so much for joining me this episode. It's been an absolute blast. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.